Government allocates billions of dollars to rebuild our aging public infrastructure, and we certainly do need to modernize roads and bridges and our electrical grid and much more. But the Biden administration slapped new rules and regulations on public works projects that's delaying many of these important upgrades for years. Our first guest has been fighting to get Democrats in the Senate to pare back those rules and get America building again. Thursday, he scored a victory in that fight. Earlier, I had a chance to speak with Alaska Senator Dan Sullivan to discuss this issue. I started by talking about how the Biden rules are affecting our ability to build those public works projects. Take a listen.
The president says he wants to be the president, to rebuild the country. Okay, nobody's against that. And then in April, his White House issues new regulations under the National Environmental Policy Act, NEPA, that are clearly intended to slow and delay the building of infrastructure and the ability to permit. The only groups that wanted these new regulations issued were the radical environmental groups who love to sue to stop big infrastructure projects, whether it's energy projects, roads, bridges, ports. So it's truly crazy because nobody wants this except for a small, very minority elite group of radical environmentalists. Biden and their White House listened to them. And yesterday in the Senate, we had a really important victory. A bipartisan group of senators voted to rescind the Biden rules. So we're fighting like heck on this issue, but it was an important win to say we need to build stuff and not listen to the far left woke environmentalists.
Yeah, the Wall Street Journal editorialized about your bill saying, quote, the Biden White House didn't have to rewrite the Trump rules. They did so precisely so its regulators and courts could find it easier to block projects. There's no other justification for it. You did manage to get Joe Manchin on board this week. The bill did pass the Senate. Where do you see this going in the House? Do you think that you'll get enough Democrats potentially to buck the White House on this or pressure Nancy Pelosi maybe even to bring it to the floor?
Well, that's going to be the key issue, and we're certainly going to try. Like, here's the reason, another thing that happened yesterday that we were really excited about. If you look at the broad base group of Americans and American groups like the farmers, the laborers, the energy sector, the U.S. Chamber, we had this giant coalition of about 50 different groups representing Americans who produce things, who build things, the workers who do it. It was an incredible coalition that all said, vote for this Sullivan resolution. That's one reason that we had 50 Republicans co-sponsor that. So all 50 Republicans co-sponsored my resolution, and we're going to bring it to the House and show them this great group of Americans across many different sectors of the economy. A bunch of our building trades, in terms of unions, were out there very strongly supporting it. The only groups that are against it are the far left radical groups. And so we want to put this up to the floor. I think we can get some Democrats. They recognize who Americans listen to and respect. And it's not, the Center for Biological Diversity and Code Pink that were part of the groups that were against it. It's people like the laborers, the U.S. Chamber, the Farm Bureau, the cattlemen. I mean, it was really a great win. Joe Biden's saying, hey, if it comes to his desk, he's going to veto it. Let's see, right? He calls himself Blue Collar Joe. Well, I think if he vetoed it, he'd be more Code Pink Joe, right? And we got to stick with the Americans who build things, not who try to block and shut down things.
Senator Sullivan, I want to switch gears with you here. Earlier in the week, House Speaker Nancy Pelosi landed in Taiwan despite multiple warnings from Communist China. You publicly supported her visit. Why did you do that? And do you believe that it's time to end our one China policy and support a free, independent Taiwan?
Well, Tom, I supported it. And as a matter of fact, I led a letter with 26 senators who said we support the trip. And there's a lot of things that I don't agree with when it comes to Nancy Pelosi. But one thing I want to make sure we never do is let the Communist Party dictate to the Communist Party of China dictate to senior American officials where they can and cannot travel. I think
Absolutely.
actually this became such a big issue in part because Joe Biden was ill-disciplined in the way he talked about it early on. But once Speaker Pelosi decided to go, my view was we need to close ranks as Americans and not let the Chinese Communist Party of China try to drive wedges between us on her trip. So I think it's really important that we say publicly, not just to the Chinese, but to the world, we're not going to let these dictators in Beijing dictate to Americans where we can travel. I went to Taiwan last year and led a bipartisan group of senators there because they were being choked off, believe it or not, by the Chinese Communist Party for their ability to get vaccines when they had their first COVID outbreak. So we landed in a C-17 military aircraft and announced 1 million vaccines from the American people to help Taiwan. And, Tom, my first deployment as a U.S. Marine in 95 and 96 was to the Taiwan Strait. The last time there was a major crisis, to his credit, President Clinton sent 2 carrier strike groups, a Marine Amphibious Ready Group. I was part of that Marine Amphibious Ready Group. So we need to keep our strong commitment to the democratic island of Taiwan. And I think Pelosi, in some ways, was doing that this week.
All right, we're going to have to leave it there. Senator Dan Sullivan from the great state of Alaska. Thank you for being here, sir. Appreciate it.
Thanks, Tom.
Hey guys, it's Rob Carson. With inflation at its highest level in 40 years and interest rates skyrocketing, your retirement plans are in danger. Well, our friends at American Hartford Gold can help show you how to protect your savings and retirement accounts by diversifying your portfolio with physical gold and silver. Yeah. If you call them right now, they have a special offer. They will give you a free gold coin on your first qualifying order. So don't wait. Call now. Here's the number. 866-935-4309. That's 866-935-4309 or text Newsmax to 65532. That's Newsmax to 65532. Thank you.